And we are live here at the London Blockchain Conference. Having a great time, doing a lot of fun things, meeting a lot of wonderful people. It's about lunchtime. Trying to figure out what the situation on that is. I'm not sure. But I did find a very interesting, I think, project here. It's My Banka. So I have with me here Robert. Robert, tell me a little bit about My Banka and what brought you here to the London Blockchain Conference.
Thank you so much for having me. So my name is, you can call me Paul. We're working on a revolutionary digital wallet that is called My Banka. That is a wallet that supports open banking. So we support more than 2,000 banks in Europe right now and in UK. And we also support digital assets, namely Bitcoin SV and all the derived assets that you can have on Bitcoin, like ordinals, NFTs, smart contract tokens, and we plan to add more support in the future for more digital assets. So where we try to position ourselves is at the intersection of these two worlds, that of the current financial world and that of tomorrow. That's what we do at MyBanka.
So pretty interesting. So talk to me about kind of like you're integrating into the banking. So I mean, what does that mean to somebody that doesn't? Yeah.
So firstly, we're not a bank. What we do is we integrate with more than 2,000 banks in Europe. So that means that you can manage all of your bank accounts, private, pro, etc., in a singular place that is safe, intuitive, and I would even dare to say fun to use, such that you can have Revolut, N26, PayPal, ING, Belfius, Fortis, Barclays, HSBC, you name it, in a single place, and work with that professionally, and also have your digital assets in the same place. And we're creating a bridge between these two worlds such that you can easily onboard, get some BSV, get into the digital ecosystem that's being growing and that people might be a little bit afraid of. And we're making that seamless, easy, and secure for everybody to get onboarded in this new world.
Interesting. So is it blockchain agnostic as well, or is it just on the BSV?
I think that's a great question. So we are legally compliant, and that's one of the main focus of what we're doing. That's how we can leverage securely open banking, more than 2,000 banks. And on the blockchain side of things, for now, we only have support for Bitcoin SV because we know it's a commodity and that it will remain that way. And legally, our company, which is based in Brussels, can sell digital assets online, and BSV is such an asset. However, we would like to support, of course, more technologies, but we are waiting for more clarification in the legal framework, for example, to know that such chain is not going to be considered as a security at some point in time, and we want to avoid any kind of troubles in that side.
Yeah, it's been a bit tricky. I know it sounds like in your country as well. Our country, nobody knows anything really.
You see, that's the problem.
All we know, like Senator Warren, I see, came out a few minutes ago saying we have to ban crypto because it's fueling the fentanyl trade, and it's like, yeah. So, like, never mind that the border is open. Okay, I mean the border is open. They're like flowing through the southern border. That's definitely not where the fentanyl is coming. It's definitely coming from crypto.
I suppose.
I mean, it's so funny. So that's pretty cool. So how long have you guys been in business? And tell me a little bit more of how the app works. Are you on the iOS store?
Right. So thank you. We've been self-funding this project for a year and a half. We wanted it to be secure, fast, and easy. So that took us some time. We literally created a simple JavaScript library for developers to use. We made it open source. It's a core component of My Banka. However, other users, other developers can use it to create social network or anything that powers it with microtransaction. So that's what we've built. It makes it easy and it's open source. So what was your other question? Sorry, in regards with the.
So it was how long have you been in business, and then the iOS, the app part of it.
Right. So okay, that's also a part of the challenge we're doing right now. If you are on iOS or you're on Android stores, you will need to give some 30% to the stores. You will need to have a 3 days before your app gets released. Sometimes, they are not too friends. Sometimes they accept to have some blockchain stuff. Sometimes they're kind of not so. The way we have done this, if we have built our infrastructure from the bottom up, so servers in a data center, backend, front ends, UI. The whole thing is hosted not in the cloud, but in our servers. We are completely independent. And the way we make this application accessible is through a website that is called mybanca.eu, and that you can actually install as a progressive web app on any device, such that you wouldn't realize that it's not a native app, but it's a web app. And it just works on desktop, Windows, Mac OS, Linux, even on Android and on iOS. It just works.
So it's pretty interesting. I'd like to talk about that just a little bit because that sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So you go to the web page and you download.
There's an
phone,
install button actually.
Install.
And it will create an icon on your desktop that when you open it, it actually is a browser behind the scene, but you don't know it because it doesn't have the URL bar.
Same thing.
Yes, and you have it there, and you wouldn't notice that it's not an app. And it comes with tremendous advantages. You don't depend on no one to tell you, can you expose that? Can you not? You can update it immediately, and you don't give 30% to anyone. That allows me to not have to put those taxes on my users as well.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So they're like the Gestapo, right? I mean, I have clients. They've been on test flight for like a year.
Oh,
iOS won't approve them. You know,
Okay.
it's like they won't like say you can't do it, but they're just sitting there. It's like crazy, right?
Yeah.
So that's rough. So really cool. So how have you found the conference?
I would say I would define it as intense.
A lot of people here, right?
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of great ideas, a lot of like-minded people. I was able to share ideas. I was able to meet people, and now I have struck a few deals where we are going to collaborate with our wallets, with some markets, with some game applications, with some other stuff that is pretty exciting, that allows people to be onboarded easily, even if they don't know anything about blockchain. And that's what we are doing. We are focusing on people. They don't care about the tech. They want to be using simple stuff.
That's what everybody says when the price is down. No, I'm just kidding. That's awesome. I do think we're about to have a nice run here come September with the main happening and everything like that. So, really cool, man. I think it's awesome. Thanks for coming on. Website, I know you mentioned it a couple times, but just remind everybody.
mybanca.eu. Yeah, you can find it on mybanca.eu and on Twitter, mybanca.eu, simply. Yeah.
Paul,
thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on. See you soon.
See you. Thank you. Thank you very much.